Hey, and welcome to the Seven Freedoms Frequency podcast with me, Iona, here at the Soul Legacy TV. So today's episode of the Seven Freedoms, it's Financial Freedom Sunday, and we're going to be talking about money blocks. And so, not sure why I'm wheezing, but it is what it is. I think it's just because I have been in a warm bath and just been relaxing and basking. How has your Sunday been so far? So let's talk about financial freedom. Let's talk about the Seven Freedoms. If you are new to me, consider subscribing to the Soul Legacy TV YouTube podcast. And if you watch this on a YouTube channel, you'll be able to see me as I go through this episode for you. And if you are listening on Audible or Spotify, then welcome. All right, so your girl doesn't do edits, so that will be the actual intro, okay? And my camera's going blurry, but we're okay. All right, so let's dive into money blocks. So the Seven Freedoms Frequency podcast is about raising your vibrational frequency and manifesting that spiritual life work balance. And if you are watching me, you're seeing me slowly being shiny because now I'm super warm. Just have to call myself out. It is what it is. I decided to do this Seven Freedoms Frequency podcast because it gives me freedom to just be me, show up, speak out, and serve deep unapologetically. You know, like when people have bloopers and they edit them out. Yeah, you just see all the bloopers as we go along. So welcome to this episode. If you are returning, thank you. And if you are a student of mine in the Soul Legacy Academy, then thank you. Love you. And so Sundays is a special day because Sundays is the day that we get to look back, not only to last Sunday and see and reflect for the week, but we actually get to see how the other days of the Seven Freedoms Frequency podcast are impacted by money and impacted by all of our money blocks, right? And so I wanted to plug in never mind. So we get to see how things are affected by our money blocks. So the Seven Freedoms Frequency podcast is about freedom, your vision for freedom in your life, your value of freedom, and raising your vibrational frequency to freedom, right? And so freedom, love, joy, empowerment, knowledge, appreciation, that kind of freedom, right? And that kind of feeling. And so do you have that feeling about money as you're building your spiritual business, as you're receiving money and as you're spending money? Do you have like a really great feeling, that love, that joy, that appreciation, the knowledge about money? Or are you absolutely clueless? Like, what is that thing? I kind of know it's energy, but it doesn't really feel like energy. And I'm blocking that energy because it feels like paper and it feels like the things that people in the world that I don't admire have, and all the things. But I want to build a business and I want it to be a real business. And when I block the money, it means I don't have clients or not as many clients as I want. And then working one-on-one, and then it's inconsistent income. And or I just want to start out in business, but I don't want to know what to charge in pricing. And I've been at all of those places, all of those thoughts, all of those struggles, all of those obstacles. And it's okay, because there are solutions, and the universe has guided you to the Seven Freedoms Frequency podcast here at the Soul Legacy TV, Spiritual Business Success with Iona. So spiritual business success includes all areas of your life. Manifesting a spiritual life and work balance means, for me, I did not have a vision as a light worker, to go out and work for someone else. I just, as an entrepreneurial, I have an entrepreneurial spirit. And once you know what you know, you kind of really can't unlearn what you know. And you don't necessarily want to retreat back to doing the things that you don't resonate with doing. And I get that we have to sometimes. And I get that we want to sometimes. And I get that some people want to build their business as a side hustle, but others of us want to serve. But when we're serving one-on-one, it can be exhausting. And not all of us know as light workers how to build into our business serving one-to-many or passive income streams. And so that's what I wanted to figure out along the way, and I have figured out along the way, including writing my book, which is called Spiritual YouTubers from Scratch, a soul-guided influence compass to leverage your light work and lifestyle on YouTube. Now, this for me, as I wrote my book, I actually had my spiritual business, the vision for my spiritual business in mind before writing my book. A lot of my students in Soul Tribe who come to me say, Iona, I realize I'm so dark. I don't know what else to. That better? It's not really, is it? A lot of people now look more shiny. Is what it is. And this, even being on camera, I don't love being on camera. And a lot of my students are like, I can't go on camera. Oh my gosh, what would I say? What would I do? Like, I'm showing up. We're just having a conversation on camera. Whether you love it and you click on and you click off or not, I'm still going to keep talking to those who do resonate. So, you know, working one-on-one and creating a business model, we're not taught really to what to do, when to do it. And that's why I'm here, and why I actually know that when people come to me, when my students come to me, and my soul clients, they want to write a book usually, or they've written a book, and or they're featured in a book, or they're serving one-on-one, but they want to expand the services, and they've got a message and they've got a movement bubbling up inside of them, but they're working one-on-one and they might not have worked with as many people as they would have liked to. And when they are thinking about the services, they know that they're here and they can add transformation to the world in a really big way, but they don't always have the language and the messaging for it. And when they think of writing their book or creating a coaching program, it's usually, no disrespect, from in their head. And it's not usually with people that they're here to serve, because they're afraid to talk to the people that they're here to serve, because they don't feel worthy and they feel like a fraud and they feel like an imposter. So they follow a model where it's go out and build a list, offer a PDF or what have you to their audience, and then or write a book from their head that's really about them and not really so much about the reader. And it's crickets. And they're like, well, I'm now frustrated. Everybody said that this course stuff would work, this coaching program would work, doing even a retreat, all these things would work, but the messaging and the marketing, and because they don't like marketing, it's like they end up being really stuck. And so having money blocks, I believe, as I'm processing, I believe we have these money blocks, and this because of the resistance to actually building a real business and marketing, because we don't want to feel salesy. But if we focus on just having a conversation, we don't have to be salesy. And just having a conversation, this is far from salesy. It's like, if anything, you'd be like, well, I'm not buying from her. Like, she's shiny on her videos. She's not scripted. She's rambling. Do you know what I mean? Like, I don't do salesy. Somebody came on, somebody came off. Thank you. You know, I'm not in my head anymore. I was so in my head. Until I found the way of serving marketing. I'm serving, but I'm serving me, because I can't serve from an empty cup. And I'm serving and speaking into and speaking the language of the people that I've worked with already. And until you work with enough people, even if you have to work with them for free, which is like, oh my gosh, I've got money blocks telling me to work with people for free. I talk about in my book how I worked with my first 2 clients for a month for free, once a week, 4 times in a week, and how it just was a game changer for me. and how if you've watched any of my teaching, I talk about I came across Regan Hillier being interviewed by the Mind Valley guy, RJ, I think his name is. And she was saying, and they were both saying that one of the things that their audience or RJ's audience ask is, oh, well, what are you doing? What are you doing now? And it's kind of the wrong question, kind of like asking Beyonce, what are you doing now? Rather than asking her, what did she do to bust her chops to get to where she is? And so the money blocks, I believe, come from, one, the culture of list building, going out there and building a list around what if we don't know the problems that we're actually solving. And two, when we haven't served enough, we feel like a fraud, we feel like an imposter, because we're jumping ahead of where we actually are. And so Arjit and Regan Hillier were talking about in Mind Valley interview on the Mind Valley YouTube channel. And they were saying, you know, it's the wrong question. Start from where you are. And Regan Hillier charges like $1 million a month for, I don't know if it's one-on-one. I think it's one-on-one. But anyway, she just charges $1 million a year per client. I don't know how many clients, whatever. And good for her. Amazing. However, to try get out of the gate at that, even she didn't get out of the gate at that. She actually started, she says that she worked, and paraphrasing, I can't remember all of the details, so forgive me, something like she charged $300 per month, no, maybe $300 altogether for 12 weeks of coaching for one-on-one twice a week, something like that. And you'd think, oh my gosh, like it was practically giving away her services, and she worked for free as well, until she got good at her crafting, until she learned about her soul tribe, her soul clients, and what they wanted and where they were stuck. Then she could then up the pricing and now be where she is. And I think as Lightworkers, we have those money blocks because we're not always willing to start from where we are. So are you willing to start from where you are and raise your vibration around money, and then see that actually, so for this YouTube podcast, the 7 Freedoms Frequency, that when you're contributing in that way as Regan Hillier did, and you're willing to receive some money, then you get that confidence, you get that clarity and confidence, and start to put, I say, systems and strategies in your business so that you keep going, and month by month you're getting better and better. Now, I have a bank 50k in 50 days challenge, and people are like, I can't bank 50k in 50 days. Are you crazy? Part of the bank 50k in 50 days is us doing it vibrationally, which we do every day on this podcast, but also we do it vibrationally. But also, I challenge you, and I challenge every single one of my students to do a one-on-one session, 50 in 50 days. And it's like, I'm not doing that. But what have you been doing for the last 50 days? Have you been actually serving? By the time you got out of your own way and looked at what you actually have spent your time doing, maybe posting online, following other people's stuff, trying to look better than what you are, or where you are, not what you are, where you are in your business, is like, really? So 50 breakthrough sessions that serve. I started with this, and I always go back to sessions. Even if you didn't do 50, you've set the intention of feeling what it feels like to be in service, and then enrolling after that breakthrough session into a group coaching program. So you're not going to do the one-on-ones like Regan Hillier did. And I started there. I did one-on-one sessions and then enrolled into a beta program, and then I recorded it, and then that became my self-study. So essentially I got paid to do my self-study course. And if you look at it like that, it's not doing it for free or doing it at a lower investment. It's actually getting paid while you're doing it, which makes a better program, rather than doing it in your head and then nobody wants it and you don't get paid anyway. Do you know what I mean? When you it's just beautiful. It's a beautiful model. I talk about it in my masterclass. I talk about it in the spiritual business book, Marketing on YouTube, and Bank 50k in 50 days challenge. I teach you how to speak to, serve, and sign up your high-paying one-to-many soul clients, and create a funnel around your business so that you can speak to your soul clients and have that messaging. But the messaging comes from the people that you're here to serve. I've had students actually move away from my teachings or pause it and then end up coming back because they're like, well, I'm going to pay a copywriter. I don't know what to say. And this person is an expert. So like, you're not going to give me my copy. I'm going to teach you how to do it, but you're not going to give my copy. They haven't directly said this, but they've gone off and paid a lot of money, being very dissatisfied because nobody can speak the words. Nobody really knows your soul clients like you do, because your soul clients are a version of you back in whenever it was, a year ago, 2 years ago, 3 years ago, 4 years ago, 5 years ago, 10 years ago, whatever it is that you're here to serve. So why would you give somebody a job of speaking to the people in a way that they haven't been through what you've been through? It doesn't make sense. And I think that we make it harder purely because we're seeing money and ourselves as not worthy. But the people that pay us and invest in us are committed. And what I've noticed over this last year, 2024, for me, is people are investing and then not willing to necessarily invest and continue to invest because they don't see the results straight away, and they're not willing to actually meet the universe in the middle and do what it takes. They don't realize what it actually takes. I make it look easy. Have you done that? You're like, well, yeah, that program doesn't work. That program doesn't work. This is why I'm here doing the thing. So there's no excuses. And I say, this is what I do. And I go granular. All the pieces I share like step by step. Like people go, oh my gosh, you share a lot. You give a lot of value, but you share a lot. It can be overwhelming. And I go, because you don't know what you don't know. And you don't know, oh, well, to put this here and to put that there. And before you do this bit, here's this bit in our business. So for me, I'm here to speak about money, but I'm also here to speak about, okay, when you're contributing, you're actually looking after your health. You're managing your emotions. You're in the environments that you want to be in. You've got the relationships that you want to get. You have more choices and you're connected spiritually. When we block the money, we block all of the other areas that I talk about on the 7 Freedoms Frequency podcast. Every single day, I talk about different areas of your life so you can manifest that spiritual life work balance. And trust me, a spiritual life, as I mentioned on my vision board challenge, that from a quote from an article saying about like manifesting financial independence, financial freedom is a spiritual journey. Because it's energy. Money is energy. So it's part of our spiritual journey. And when we're at fear around money, we're at fear of success, we're at fear of failing, fear of selling. As light workers, we have a responsibility to move up the emotional scale. Do you know why? Because we're vibrating at the lowest vibrational frequency in the world. And we're impacting. I'd be impacting you if I'm vibrating at fear. You're impacting me. We're vibrating at fear. We say that consciousness, we are one. We're all at different levels and different layers, but we raise our vibrational frequency. And we're always going out there saying, they're low vibe, they need to sort their stuff out, pointing the finger. And really, as light workers, it's darkness. When we have a poverty consciousness, right, it's dark. When we have a prosperity consciousness, it's light. We spiral up of the emotional scale. Poverty consciousness, we spiral down. We're not here to live in poverty, right? So this week I've been talking on my 1 week to create a badass spiritual business vision board and bank 50k in 50 days challenge about every single area of your life, and today is financial freedom. Now I had quite a few people, like just under 50 people in the Facebook group. I didn't really put it too out there. And people said, I'd love to do the challenge. I'll be there because I do it live. But I do say, there's on the replay. But when we are not doing as well as we want to do, especially financially, or we are confused, we don't have clarity, and the vision board gives you clarity, we stay behind closed doors because we don't want people to know that we haven't got it figured out. And I get that. And so what I did was I created another group called Women Over 40 in Spiritual Business, collaborating online and actually meeting in person, because I know that as a collective, as we come together and we understand that we're not alone on this journey, we do go through our awakening, and it's okay to be where we are. We can't be further forward than where we are. And I want to normalize awakening, and I want to normalize actually through my Soul Legacy movement as the founder of the Soul Legacy Academy and host here at the Soul Legacy TV and creator of the Soul Legacy Launch Blueprint, that the Soul Legacy movement is here to improve the mental health and well-being of our nation and our future generation, escape a poverty consciousness and elevate a prosperity consciousness. That's one light worker at a time. So as you, as a light worker, if you're elevating your consciousness, right, going up the emotional scale on Emotional Freedom Wednesday with me, then you are impacting the future generations. You're actually fulfilling, committed to your soul calling, and you're building a spiritual business around it, because you'd be spending your time, energy, and money on other things that have no meaning and purpose in your life, and surrounding it around other people to the point where you're in environments or in relationships stuck because of money. And I've been there, and I'm still working on those things, right? So with the Seven Freedoms Frequency podcast, I went off on a massive tangent, but I want to say that Sunday is a big hairy deal, and Sunday is the day that we play what I call the soul income game, and I spend my vibrational money voucher. And in all transparency, I haven't spent it yet. I usually spend it before I come live, and I haven't. I've got my vision board challenge, the 1 week to create a badass spiritual business vision board. And I've been in the bath, and I've been basking, and I've been watching the vision board challenge, just preparing. So I will spend it before midnight, because if I don't spend it, I snooze, I lose. I tithe 10% of that to a worthy cause. And so I come live and I talk about the 7 freedoms, and I journal. And I use what I call my Soul Legacy Journal. It's a blank notebook, and I say that it's 365 days of your spiritual awakening story, going through an awakening, through money blocks, I went through bankruptcy, I've been homeless, I went through the messiest divorce, which just left me with a ton of debt, all the things, like everything that you could just absolutely imagine, like being impacted by finances. That was your girl. And so I gave up my home, all the things. And so it's an awakening every single day. And so when we are here together, we're raising our vibration. And so I wanted to make it fun. I wanted to spin money blocks on their head and actually say, and people say money flows to me really easily, and we don't believe it. Let's just play a vibrational money game where you have the £1,000, dollars, or euros every single day to spend, and you tie 10% to a worthy cause. Now, the worthy cause for me is Compassionate Friends. It's a bereaved charity for bereaved parents, and so I am one. So I dedicate my work to my son, Daniel Samuel Mead. He made his transition 9 years ago, and I put the charity on my vision board back last July. Excuse me. And when I went to London after I gave up my home, I ended up getting on some training with the charity, and I was set to volunteer and stuff. And so that didn't transpire in the way that I wanted it to, because I left London and I was going to do an in-person meeting with another lady who wanted me to do it with her. And hey, love. And I'm talking about tithing. So we're snooze, we lose. So I haven't spent my vibrational money voucher. So Robin is on with us live. Robin not. And so what are you on now? Oh, Facebook. And so, so I put that on my vision board, and it just transpired that I ended up doing some training and stuff. And I was like, okay, I'm set. It's still on my vision board over this week. And part of the financial freedom is to be able to tithe. And I've been talking about this week as I've been processing my own journey, going through raising my own vibration, because that's what this journey is for me. And it's for you. It's for my students as well. I walk my talk. And so I'm going back to my hometown, and it happens to be that there's a compassionate friends that I can get to. In London, it was kind of like out of the way and on the tubes and stuff, and I'm not really confident on the tubes. I'm like, no, not really. And where I used to live, where I gave up my home, it was quite far from that, but it's really far from here. So I'm like, okay, let me go to that. And so I put it on my vision board, and the universe isn't like, oh well, I'm just going to give you everything. You've got to receive the thoughts, receive the nudges for what is on your vision board to actually go and then act. So I'm going to be tithing 10% every single day to the charity, but it's really nice to actually be like on the side of training, actually being a facilitator, but actually being in the meetings as well, and actually having that support so that I can see where the money is going to. So if you had the financial freedom that you want to, and you didn't have money blocks anymore, just imagine like waving the magic wand. What would you do with the money? Where would you tithe it? And so we tithe it vibrationally, but imagine yourself actually being involved with that worthy cause, whether it's your own worthy cause, or I like to do, when I do a bucket list item, I like to tie the bucket list item like a half marathon that I did with the cancer research. Plenty of us have been touched by cancer. And so it was really good for me to do that. And I got on the phone with the charity, and they sent me the pack and blah, blah, blah. A lot of people say, oh, I don't want to, tithe to charities. And there's Charity Water. The guy, he's a really cool guy, actually, that I tithe to as well. And Cruise Bereavement Care. And so I have a much loved page for my son. So if you want to, if I've ever offered you value and you want to donate, tithe to any of those as well. I was looking for you in the wrong spot on YouTube. LOL. Were you? Are you on YouTube now? Oh, but were you on Facebook before? I don't know. I'm on both, apparently. Thank you. I don't know like which spot you found me in. Let me know. That's interesting, because I'm streaming this out, and I'm streaming it out in the Soul Legacy Academy, in the Global Networking Hub, and I'll show you that as well, so you can find everything. And I might even, no, I won't even try to do that, because it might just, you saw me on Facebook and then finally found you on YouTube. Oh, that's crazy. So when you go to the Soul Legacy TV, Spiritual Business Success with Iona, it should say live, like live now. So I want you to be able to find me, but thank you. You finally found me on YouTube. Yay. So we tithe 10%, and then we spend our vibrational money voucher. Now, if you've been playing this soul income game with me, receiving that income all week, and if you haven't and you're new, then you can start from Monday, right? Start from Contribution Freedom Monday and play this vibrational money game, banking 50K in 50 days, and commit to 50 days. At least do it for 7 and see how you feel. It's really a phenomenal process. And what you do is you create your 1 week to create a badass spiritual business vision board, right? And then when you look at all your images for each area of your life, contribution freedom, health freedom, emotional freedom, environmental freedom, relationship freedom, spiritual freedom, and financial freedom, you start to spend this vibe. It's connected. You start to spend this vibrational money every single day on the images that you've put on your vision board. So that means that you're letting the universe know you're connected to it. You're not just putting your vision board down in a room and saying, I hope it manifests. That's fine. You're not attached to it in a like weird way. The people that say put it down, don't even think about it, it's because we can delay it. We can be like looking at it going, oh my gosh, like why are you not coming true? Like, why are you not coming off this paper into my life? And that's not what it is. So the 1 week to create a badass spiritual business vision board is about us contributing first and receiving financial freedom and having all of the things in our life in between. So for health, emotion, environment, relationship, and spirituality, and those things do come to us naturally. But say if I want to have a beach body and I want to travel when I travel the world, I'm going to have to go get my tickets, and I'm going to have to decide which places that I'm going to, unless somebody hands me a ticket, and that's fine. You don't really like live life like everybody hand me stuff. That's not the way that I work anyway. I have choices, the freedom to have a choice, like take my family on a vacation and ask them where they want to go and different things. So we're running through our mind our thoughts and our feelings about the things that are on our vision board. So say I want to have a beach body. Well, I'm going to go to the gym. I'm going to work out and I'm going to eat clean. Now, regardless of whether I eat clean or whether I work out, if I'm working out from or eating from the energy and the thoughts of, or, you know, the negative thoughts, I'm fat, I'm this, I'm not good enough, I'm blah, 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 I'm not beautiful. They don't feel right for me to say. But whatever thoughts that we have that sabotage us, that we, you know, the comments that people have made, if I do it from then, I'm still not going to get the results as much as I could anyway, or I'm going to get results temporarily, and then I'm going to have the habits that take me right back. So it's like that ping pong. But if you have the vision and you've intended the power of intention and you're living in alignment with your values, it's actually in alignment with your values to tithe. It's actually in alignment with your values to feel good and to feel healthy or to walk every day. It's actually in alignment with you to be the best version of you as be right. Okay, cool. Be right back. If it's actually in alignment, and so it's going to be more in alignment if you are intending it first. And so by writing it down, having a relationship with your goals and your intentions and your vision, when it actually manifests, I will say, spoiler alert, it doesn't actually feel as special as it could do because you've already done it in your mind. You're like, yeah, I celebrate. I'm like, yay, I've all these successes and I've done this live a gazillion times and I've walked and I've done it and I've said hit. And then when I'm on here, it just is what it is. It's normal and it's natural. And that's the feeling that you're going for. You're not going for these spikes, high, low, like a roller coaster. You're going for like a higher vibration, but maintaining that vibration. You're rising and residing at what I call the C.H.E.E.R.S to financial freedom frequency, because you're already at the vibration of what it is that you want to manifest. In order for it to manifest, before it manifests, then it's like, this is, of course, do you know what I mean? Of course it's happening. It's happening now. It was already happening, kind of thing. And then the universe goes, here you go. I don't know why the brain is wired like that. I don't know why the universal laws work like that. They just do. And so I love this game. So tithing, you're tithing, write it down, post it in the vision board group, 1 week to create a badass spiritual business vision board group, and buddy up, because we drop off. Like, I will be here daily. I'll be on my 2-hour monthly coaching call called the 7 Freedoms Frequency Call-In Gym, and it's a 2-hour spiritual life and work balance coaching for my students. It's $77 a month. And I give that, I tithe it to my students who come onto my masterclass live and then enroll into the Soul Legacy Launch Blueprint, either my author and authority platform in my bootcamp, which is $555 as a payment plan. There's 3 payment plans actually, the full pay, saving, and then my mastermind, which is for a year, 2 years, or 3 years access. All right. And so I talk about that. And so I love it because I've been able to take my knowledge, like here, out of my head and create what I call my soul signature system. And so when I'm receiving this financial freedom, this money voucher from this soul legacy journal that I'm imagining, I actually have the back end of my business ready to receive those clients and receive that payment. And you can go down below in this video or this YouTube podcast, wherever in the description, come to the masterclass. You can purchase my book. You can purchase the 5-day, you actually get a savings, including in this book is a 5-day challenge that actually supports you in getting clarity around your spiritual business and serving, and you're building your author and authority platform on YouTube and Amazon. I've got the boot camp again, and the mastermind. Like, you can't click on the mastermind because that's like there's a process for that to make sure people that are a match. But there are other things, and I made a vow when I figured this out that I'd never let anybody be outpriced. So I don't have the money blocks that I once did, because 1, I've worked with students and they've invested, and 2, I know that I'm giving 10 times the value that I ever ask anyone to invest. So I'm receiving, when I receive that £1,000, dollars, or euros, every single day, well, for me, it's pounds, I know where it's coming from. And if you don't know where it's coming from, you've got it on your vision board. So you imagine where it's coming from. And I've got a model and a one-page plan in this book so that it makes it easier for you to imagine it. All right. And then I teach you to do this in the physical world. So we're doing it in the vibrational world. I realize I'm going blurry. We do it in the vibrational world, and then we do it in the visible world, like banking 50K in 50 days. Money comes from people. If you're willing to be in service, and if you're willing to do 50 breakthrough sessions that are free at first, if you're new, free at first anyway, but free at first, and then enrolling, getting good at converting. So say if you did one session and you didn't get a client, you're like, oh. But if you set up to do like 4 sessions and maybe that's one client, so it's a 25% conversion rate, then you're like, oh, well, I'll just serve 4 people and see how many clients. I'll serve 50 people and see. Like I talked about yesterday on, was it yesterday? Anyway, I was talking about my daughter, about teaching her how to ride a bike. And I said to her, she was 5, and I said to her, listen, you're going to fall off your bike. She had knee pads and elbow pads and a helmet, by the way, because I told this story. I didn't say that. I was like, you're going to fall off this bike. She was protected 50 times before you can ride. And she's like, okay, mama. She trusted me. And I was like, that's how I taught her tough love. And she fell off. I can't remember how many times, but maybe 10. And she's like, I did it, mum. I didn't even fall off like 50 times, because her expectation was lower. I knew that she wasn't going to fall off 50 times. So if you do 50 breakthrough sessions at C.E.E.R.S, you're going to get your next 5 clients, your next 10 clients, your next 20, however good you get at enrolling. And if you want me to be your spiritual business coach, then I can support you in that model, as in serving. And I love it. And that's where I start. You'll see my testimonials from my sessions. I love giving breakthrough sessions. They're not sales calls. They're not strategy calls. They're not discovery calls. They're not any of those, whatever you've been taught out in the industry that you're like resentful of doing, wasting your time and picking your brains. Like every session that I've ever done, I get value, whether somebody enrolls or not. And I will share with you how you get value. And again, come to my masterclass. And so tithing, when you're tithing, no, not when you're tithing, when you're spending your vibrational money voucher and you've put on your vision board to contribute, feeling to the feeling. And I can feel into the feeling more easily now because I'm walking my own talk, right? So type 10%, and every single day. So if you've been doing this all week with me, you might have some money left over from each day. So you don't spend it on bills. So like you'll come from the space that your bills are already taken care of. All of your bills are paid for, financial freedom for a year. You don't need to save it because all of your savings, however much you want, is all taken care of. This is plain money. So you get to play with it. And so have the images on your vision board and say, I don't know, it's an Airbnb somewhere. And wherever it is, and you've got to get flights, go to that place, check out the flights, as you would as if you had the money in your hand or the money online in your bank. You would confidently go and say, oh, I'm going on a trip. You wouldn't even just talk to the universe, you talk to other people, just pretend that thing, because people think you're crazy. If you're doing it with your body, then you can do it. Robin and I say, I spent my vibrational money voucher and I spent it on blah, blah, blah. So, or I spent my money, or I bought whatever it was, and then we'll say vibrationally, because it's like, you know, when you like say it and you're like, I don't believe it, or you don't know if they really think that you've just done that, we just say vibrationally. So we spend that, you're in the process of manifesting. So this is Financial Freedom Sunday, and I've talked about money quite a lot, and I've talked about balancing your light work and your lifestyle. The 1 week to create about our spiritual business vision board is going to support you in this process. And now when we rate our vibrational frequency every single day, like I say, for every day we rate between a 1 and 11, and I won't go into that deeply now. I talk about it on my vision board challenge, which again, I'll leave the links for you to explain this. But we want to raise our vibration, right? And so, especially from fear to freedom. And so if you were to rate your vibrational frequency, what would it be today? How do you feel in soul funk versus soul flow? Just intuitively, like you feel expansive, you're 11 is like on point, guided, looking at the world through the lens of my soul, not really pushed and pulled by life be life in, and I'm just badassing. Like, or like you feel a bit low today, feel a bit down, feel a bit tearful, feel a bit fed up, feel like staying in bed. It's cool. Whatever it is, just rate it. Excuse me, 1 and 11. And then all week, you should rate your vibrational frequency. For today, it's FF, Financial Freedom Sunday, FFS equals 1 to 11. So every day we've got a score between a 1 and 11. So if I scored 1 all week, I'd have a score at the end of the week of 7. If I scored 11 all week, then at the end of the week, I'd have a score of 77. Now, you're probably going to score somewhere in between. And if you score 77, fantastic. If you score 7, fantastic. Doesn't matter. Now you've got awareness. And I can't remember what my scores were. I didn't add them up. It was something like, hang on. I'm going to look back. I did say that I would do this in real time. So I got, okay, was that last week or this week for the relationship? Health was a 10. Everything was 11. Health was a 10. For me, so that's 1 point off the 77. And I know for a fact environmental freedom was a 5. So that's another 5. That's how many off? 6 off. So that's 7 off. So it's 70. And then relationship freedom was an 8. So that's another 3 off. So that's 67. And everything else is an 11. No, today actually it's a 10. So 66. I'm at 66. Today, Financial Freedom Sunday is a 10 for me. And I say why it's a 10 is because my thoughts of when I've been spending, I notice that there's some residue of, oh, that's expensive in the shop. Or, like, do you know what I mean? So I've started to put money in my wallet or my phone case so that I've always got that on me. I used to do that with the Abraham Hicks's process. What I will say is, as we're spending our vibrational money voucher, I haven't opened this. I was talking about inside here is the internet thing that I actually ordered. And I was saying that throughout the week that I am going to move my environment, and my mum's doesn't have internet. And I was like, oh my God, I was on a low. That's environment. That's why it was at a 5. I'm like, oh gosh, how am I supposed to do my life? How am I supposed to I can run my business online with an internet connection. We tried to sort it out in the summer, it wouldn't work. Anyway, so I was like, the universe gave me signs and synchronicities and a solution. I just jump up and I'm typing. And then my nephew's like, do all the reviews, do the research. And he kind of put me off and I didn't think about it. And I wasn't actually doing it for that purpose, but I thought of it. I was thinking of it for traveling. Lo and behold, a couple of days later, I'm like, okay, I'm going to be moving environment unexpectedly. Look back up and it's a different one to the one that I was first looking at, because the one that I was first looking at is compatible with Windows, probably not with a Mac. So I'm glad I didn't buy it at the time. So I was nudged, I was delayed, I was paused rather than rushing, because I was like, let me get it. And I'm like, no, slow down. And so I've got it and I will see if it works. If y'all don't see me after next week, you'll know it didn't work. But the universe has given me, I'm intending. So if I didn't have the money, then I would vibrationally spend the money. And so the things that I haven't had the money for right there and then we acknowledge and we express gratitude for them, which we're going to do for the things that show up. So I'm going to express gratitude, 1 for Amazon and 2 for the universe nudging. So it's just really, really cool. I love this process. All right. If I didn't have the money, if you don't have the money to support your business and do the things that you need to do, me not having internet and not having the money to pay for it, I wouldn't be able to do it, like, not for a while. Do you get what I'm saying? So it's just really special. I love it. All right, so we spent the vibrational money voucher. We talked about your vibration. We rated it and we totaled the score. If you are a student of mine in the 7 Freedoms Frequency Calling Gym, again, that I bonus, my masterminders and my 12-week boot campers, write down your scores and come to the monthly call. It's the first Monday of the month at 3 p.m. UK time. You'll see it in the online teaching portal. All right. And if you upgrade for the vision board challenge and you are with me in live week, you can win a month as well. And if you are in the upgraders, like the homework at soullegacyacademy.com/courses/vision board, it's not on the site. It's I invite people privately, people that go through the vision board challenge or on this daily live. If you enroll, it's $7.77. Then you'll see within the online teaching portal everything underneath this live, underneath all of the daily lives, and underneath the vision board challenge. You'll see everything that I'm mentioning here. You'll see the links to the calls that I give, the monthly call. You'll see the Q&A calls that I give. You'll see the 5-day challenge, the links. You'll see the links to everything. Okay. I don't put the links everywhere all the time. And if you're in the masterclass, you'll see them as well. All right, setting the soul's intentions for the week based on money. And so I talk about setting your soul intentions. So you may have set some soul intentions last week, some goals, some soul guided actions. You might just intend a thing to happen. Excuse me. And then when the universe is showing you all the things in the middle, you just take soul guided action on there. So you intend the thing, and even if you don't know how to do the thing, say if it was sessions. And you're like, okay, well, she said bank 50K in 50 days. All right. She said do some one-on-one sessions. Okay, well, what would I intend? I'd intend the title of it. I'd intend the topic of it. I'd intend what I'd want the session to look and feel like. I'd intend who I'd want to be on the session. I'd be deciding those things, and they're in my head, and then I would be taking action on it. Who do I know who has this problem? Who do I know that I can serve? Who would give me a video testimonial for a session? And I give you the structure of the session if you're in my bootcamp or mastermind. I explain how to set up the session. I explain how to make a no-brainer offer after the session. Basically, the Bank 50K in 50 Days challenge. So you don't have to do it alone if you want me to show you how to do it. All right, so set your soul intentions. Book for the day. There's loads of books for today, I will say. This is Multiple Streams of Income. The Future of Coaching is Now by Andrea Lee. The author of the 5 Keys to Putting Money in Coaches' Pockets. This book is so old. I don't even know when it was published, but this was me with learning about multiple streams of income. I don't know, 10, 15 years. No, not 10. How many years? About 12 years ago, something like that. You're back. Yay. Robin is back. Listen, I'm getting notifications from like dating apps on my phone. I need to do this. That's my other spin-off YouTube channel, Dating Intentionally. Anyway, multiple streams of income. How many financial freedom books have you got? If you say 0, go and get one. Right. So this one, get this one. A Happy Pocket Full of Money. Infinite Wealth and Abundance in the Here and Now. This is a really cool book. It has like these black lines here are affirmations right throughout the book. Like on every single page, there's just subconsciously like programming, and it just says the same thing. It says, I am wealth, I am abundance, I am joy, all the way through the book. How cool is that? What an idea. One of my students recommended that. Millionaire Messenger, this was a game changer for me. This is when I started to do the maths about making $1 million in your business by Brendan Burchard. And he said, I know I'm dark. And he said, in order to make, this is when membership sites were really big. And he says, in order to, notifications with this, where you were just talking about multiple streams of income and you're creating a dating app. Yes, because the dating app is going to take money. And my dating app is going to be an old school dating app to attract hobby and wifey material. Happy hobby and happy wifey material. So you want to be happy. So many people are frustrated and jaded and unhappy, coming out of relationships, spilling onto other people. So attracting your soulmate and or your twin flame, and actually seeing a future, a happy future, and not needing to be in relationship in order to be happy. It's going to be lit. And instead of investing in the app like all the apps do, we'll be investing in coaching and investing in yourself so that you can show up on the dating app happy. So Millionaire Messenger. So Brendan Burchard says, used to say, or still says, but I think the model has changed in the industry a little bit. But basically, if you ever done the maths for $1 million, have you ever done the maths for the banking 50K in 50 days? I talk about it on the masterclass, and I talk about it in the homework for the masterclass. We actually do your maths. And so for me, let me just finish this and I'll go back to my example. So he says, if you have 1,000 people spending $97 per month for a year, 1,000 people, $97 for a year, boom, you've hit $1 million. So imagine serving 1,000 people and charging $97 a month. That's when it was like cool to do that. However, a lot of people don't actually keep going for a year. After 3-4 months, they quit. But it's fine. And so I have now done my own model from the Bank 50K in 50 Days Challenge. And I was like, okay, for my book, I gift my readers my $55. But if I was to enroll students in my $55 anyway, it would be, $900, just a one-off. I didn't even have to do a membership site. It's just one-off for 50K. Obviously, it's not $1 million. But then if I have for 50K, for my 555, it's 90 people. And for my mastermind, it's 5,555. So it's not cheap. It's group as well. It's 9 people a month. Well, not even 9 people a month, just 9 people in 50 days. So if you're doing 50 breakthrough sessions at C.H.E.E.R.S and you're making an offer into 2 price points, and I suggest, say, when I have mine, I'm doing a beta actually of my mastermind. And so I say give that for 50% of the investment to however many people, right? So that would be 18 people rather than 9, and I still make the 50K. So however you choose to do it, if you're like, oh, I can't charge that, and you're busting your chops and you're creating the program, do it live with people, and then you'll feel better. But yeah, that's $1 million. And so if I do my maths for $1 million and I do have 18 people, probably 15 people, I think, a month, then boom, it's $1 million rather than 1,000. So Miracle Morning, I talk about Hello all the time. Miracle Morning for millionaires. Speed Wealth, how to make $1 million in your business in 3 years or less. Think and Grow Rich. That's the book for the day. Think and Grow Rich. Coming into the masterminding. There's a self-confidence formula on page 52 of this book. And I would say read it. I'm not going to be on here too long because I've got to get on my other line. I would say read it. You don't feel like you have the confidence to really serve, read it. So any book, I've got lots of other books that I recommend, but definitely choose one. So a card for today, then we've done the soul income game, and then we'll do gratitude. So a card for the day, note from the universe, I think, from Mike Dooley. I don't know. No, I'm not even going to sign into that. I'm not going to sign into it. All right. So the card for today is from Keepers of the Light, as per usual. This is a card called Soul Expansion. Your consciousness is expanding. You understand the connections between all things. Mahavata, I can't say it properly, but you can read it, right? Babaji, I think is it, means great incarnation or avatar. And Babaji means sacred father. Mahavatar Babaji is a deeply respected master yogi who was introduced to the world through the teachings of an Indian yogi, can't say his name, Yogananda. Babaji, as he's called for short, is said to be over 2,000 years old and able to travel between Earth and the other worlds. He is said to have an invisible temple in the Himalayas that can appear to those who want to connect with him. Many believe that he is Christ himself, bringing deep love, acceptance, forgiveness, and direction. Extended message. You may feel like you've retreated from the world recently. Do you feel like that? I know. Actually, having a relocation and being so excited that I'm not retreated from the world. I've been retreated from the world for the best part of 25 years. And definitely for the last 15, whatever it is, since 2008-9, building this spiritual business. I used to do 18-hour days just to figure out where I am now, like literally. All right. Maybe you've not being as active socially or spiritually, but this time of inner rest has really paid off. You are becoming more and more consciously aware of how connected you are to God and all living beings. This sense of union is called yoga. Yoga goes beyond physical ability and into a sense of awareness that's created through spiritual practice, meditation, devotion, and devotion to the divine. Mahavatar Babaji, the yogic father, is here to inspire that fire of union within you so that you can understand how your thoughts and actions are creating the waves of the energy that form your life. Yes, can I get an amen? And it's dropping in for me. Although I do this and I do this every day, I've dropped off and then I'm back on, and I've dropped off and I'm back on, and I'm here. Right? So we've played the soul income game. Let's wrap up with gratitude, because I'm going to be on my 1 week to create a badass spiritual business vision board in about 15 minutes. So I'm going to do this real quick as well. So the way that I say gratitude every single day, right? The purpose of the 7 Freedoms Frequency podcast is to raise our vibration, rise and reside at what I call the C.H.E.E.R.S to financial freedom frequency. So this is the intentional living codes. We're setting intentions. We're living an intentional life, meaning living in alignment with our values and our North Star values, right? What leads us in life, so that we can feel in alignment. We're putting all those things on our vision board, those images, speaking to the universe in images, and then we're thinking and we're feeling before and in order for it to manifest. One of the things that helps us in raising our vibration is visualizing. Another thing is journaling. And another thing is soul speaking into existence, saying gratitude. So I say gratitude and you say it however you want, but this is the way that I do it. And I call it the 7 freedoms: frequency, low vibration, gratitude. And so I say, I'm happy and I'm grateful and I appreciate. We want to be happy anyway, regardless. Happiness is our purpose. We want to appreciate, that's at the highest vibration, really feeling appreciation, right? And gratitude. I think it's Abraham Hicks that said, when we talk about gratitude, sometimes it's got a little bit of lack. I'm grateful, that the opposite of what we're grateful for. So when we say I'm happy, I'm grateful, and I appreciate, and we're smiling and we're feeling those feelings of the things that are on our vision board, or something in the past, something in the present, or something in the predicted future. And I have to line that up and say that, because that's the energy of which I say gratitude with, and that's the energy that I want to pass on through this YouTube podcast. So let's do it together, or you can write it down. You can listen to me. So I've done this already this morning in my journaling practice, but I'm going to do it as an example. And I've got my gratitude stone. My daughter gave me this one, and my niece gave me this one, just to anchor. And that's it. So I say I'm happy and I'm grateful and appreciate the 7 freedoms. So contribution freedom, health freedom, emotional freedom, environmental freedom, relationship freedom, spiritual freedom, and financial freedom. That's the 7 freedoms, the 7 areas of our life to create that spiritual life work balance, not just one area that we're grateful for. So I'm happy, and think of the things that have happened in the week, think of the things that are happening now, and think of the things that you want to happen. All right. So I say I'm happy and grateful and appreciate contribution. I'm happy and grateful that I'm able to contribute through the Vision Board Challenge all week. I've loved it. Absolutely loved it. It's just been amazing. Happy and grateful and appreciate health freedom, just really taking care of myself, getting in the bath every day, just basking, looking after my body, like having my vitamins and just feeling grounded. I'm happy and grateful and appreciate emotional freedom, feeling grounded, feeling high vibe. I'm like high when I got off my lives, but grounded at the same time. I'm happy and grateful and appreciate environment. I'm happy and grateful and appreciate my hometown like I've never appreciated it before. Like I'm happy and grateful and appreciate my mama clearing out her wardrobe for me. That's a big hairy deal for my mum. And being in an environment where I can see myself and visualize already before I even get there. Really happy and grateful for that. Happy and grateful and appreciate, and Canva allowing me to do that. Happy and grateful and appreciate relationships. Robin, I'm so happy and grateful and appreciate our relationship. It's just been epic. This week has been absolutely amazing. And if anybody's watching, or you're going to watch the 1 week to create a badass spiritual business vision board, Robin's been a badass all week, and she's lit me up, and kept me going throughout it, because I've dipped in my own emotions as well. So I just want to say thank you and big love. I'm happy and grateful and appreciate the relationships. I've just created yet another community, but women over 40 in spiritual business. And I know that is my avatar, the people that I'm here to serve, that are actually in business. So I'm really happy and grateful. Shout out to everybody that's come into there, everybody that's coming out from behind closed doors, so that we can collab online and meet in person. I'm super excited to do that this 2025. I'm happy and grateful and appreciate spiritual connection, just being guided to actually manifest, right? Internet connection. I'm happy and grateful and appreciate the financial freedom to be able to do that. Just having money and getting bought 2 bars of dark chocolate today by my niece, because she bought me those, and I was like, wow, thank you very much. She asked me if I wanted something from the shop, and I told her what I wanted, and then boom, it was there, and it sat on the side, and she bought me 2. I was like, thank you so much. I share that gratitude with you. Thank you so much. And so that is it for the 7 Freedoms Frequency podcast for a whole week. I'm looking forward to setting soul intentions with you next week, raising our vibration for contribution freedom on Monday. We go again. We start the cycle of the vibrational money voucher. If you don't spend your vibrational money voucher, you snooze, you lose. You're letting the universe know that you don't want it. So spend it, body up, and do the vision board challenge, and come to the masterclass. Let me support you in your spiritual life work balance, your spiritual business coaching. It would be an absolute honor and a game changer. Absolutely. Oh, she brought it. Yeah, she brought me 2. Isn't that lovely? I'm just so happy and grateful for that. So that big love, and I will see you on the next episode. Take care. Mwah.